You know, money is a funny thing. It can feel like you're working nonstop, saving what you can, and still not seeing any real progress. But then one day, something changes. Your habits click, your money starts to grow, and you finally see the payoff for all of your efforts. So in this video, I want to talk about the 4 key financial milestones that completely change the game. These are the points where your money starts working for you instead of the other way around. And if you're still pushing towards that first big goal, I'll share some of the exact steps that help me get there faster. Hi, I'm Greg Hardy and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for being here. We cover all things personal finance, investing, and building a secure financial future. So if you're serious about taking control of your money and also learning something new every week, make sure to subscribe to the channel and to like this video. It really helps the channel out and gets this information to more people who need it. Thank you. The first big financial milestone is hitting $10,000 in savings. And let me tell you, this one takes grit. When you're just starting out, it can feel almost impossible to get there. You're juggling bills, maybe paying down debt, dealing with unexpected expenses, and trying just to keep your head above water. But this milestone isn't really about the number itself. It's about the discipline that it takes to reach it. Every dollar you save is proof that you're taking control of your money, not letting it control you. When you finally hit that $10,000 mark, something changes mentally. You stop viewing money as something that just comes and goes, and you start seeing it as a tool. You begin to understand that every dollar has a purpose, whether it's for saving, investing, or paying off debt. That shift in mindset is powerful because it changes the way you make financial decisions going forward. You start to build confidence in your ability to manage your money. Now, if you haven't reached this milestone yet, I highly recommend checking out my video on how to save $10,000 in a year. In that video, I share a practical, step-by-step plan that anyone can follow, even if you're living on a tight budget. It's not about making huge leaps overnight. It's about making small, consistent choices that add up over time. Once you see the progress, it becomes addictive, but in a good way. Because once you reach this point, everything starts to open up. You're no longer living paycheck to paycheck or panicking over every unexpected bill. You've got breathing room, you've got momentum, and that momentum is what pushes you towards the next stage, where your money starts to grow for you instead of relying entirely on your effort. The second milestone is where things really start to get exciting, $100,000. This is the tipping point most people never reach, not because it's impossible, but because it takes patience and consistency. It can take years of saving, investing, and staying focused to build that first 6 figures. But once you do, everything begins to shift. Your money stops being something you chase and starts being something that works for you. So let's break this down for a second. At around a 10% annual return, your $100,000 can earn roughly $10,000 a year. That's about $833 a month in growth without doing a thing. Think about that for a second. Your money is literally earning what some people make working a part-time job, and it's doing it passively. That's why this stage is such a big deal. You start to see the power of compound interest, where your returns generate more returns and the snowball really starts to roll. Now, I mentioned this before in my video, why your net worth explodes after $100,000, and it's completely true. This is the point where compound interest wakes up. Before $100,000, your progress mainly comes from how much you can save. After $100,000, it's how well your money performs. That's when investing starts to feel exciting because you can actually see your money growing and multiplying. And if you're wondering how to earn that kind of return, one simple option is a low-cost index fund like I invest in called SPYM, which was formerly known as SPLG, which tracks the S&P 500. Now, historically, the S&P 500 has averaged around 10% a year over the long term. It's not flashy, it's not complicated, but it works. And staying the course through the ups and downs, you give your money the best chance to grow steadily over time. This milestone feels like flipping a switch because the math finally starts working for you and not against you. You're no longer grinding just to make progress. Your investments are doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and once you experience that, it completely changes the way that you view money. You realize wealth isn't just about earning, it's about letting time and compounding do what they do best. The third milestone is $500,000, and this is where you start to feel something most people never truly experience: financial security. At this point, you're not just building wealth anymore, you're protecting it. You've likely got a balanced mix of investments, maybe a 401k, some index funds, possibly some real estate, and very little, if any, bad debt hanging over your head. You've built a strong financial foundation, and it's finally starting to show in your lifestyle and peace of mind. At a 10% annual return, that's $500,000 that can earn you around $50,000 a year, and that's without lifting a finger. Think about that for a minute. That's like having a steady, full-time income stream working quietly in the background while you sleep, spend time with family, or take time off. This is where you begin to realize that wealth isn't just about having money, it's about having options. You can choose to work less, pursue a passion project, or even take that trip you've always wanted, all while your investments keep growing. This stage is also where you start to see how your earlier habits pay off. The discipline it took you to save your first $10,000 and the patience it took to reach $100,000. That's what made this possible. You're now in a position where compound growth is accelerating faster than ever. You're seeing thousands of dollars in growth every single month, and that can be both exciting and humbling. This is the point where your money officially works harder than you do. But there's something important to watch out for, and that's complacency. It's easy to hit this milestone and think, I'm good now, and start loosening up your spending habits. Maybe you start buying more luxuries, taking on unnecessary debt, or drifting away from your original plan. Don't fall into that trap, because as quickly as money grows, it can also disappear if you stop managing it with intention. The difference between financial security and financial freedom is discipline. To stay on track, you've got to keep things simple and automated. Keep contributing to your investments every month, no matter what the market does. Continue using solid funds like SPYM or other broad market ETFs to let your money grow steadily over time. Protect what you've built by avoiding unnecessary risks and by making sure that you're diversified. Because the next milestone, the one after this one, is where true freedom begins. $500,000 gives you peace of mind, but that next level, that's where you stop worrying about money altogether and start focusing on living life completely on your terms. The final milestone, $1 million, is the one that most people dream about. It's the point where financial freedom starts to become more than an idea, it becomes a reality. Now, let's be honest though, $1 million doesn't stretch as far as it used to, but it's still a powerful financial and psychological marker. It represents years of discipline, smart choices, and patience paying off. It's not just about having 7 figures in your account, it's about knowing you have the freedom to live life on your terms. At a 10% annual return, that $1 million can generate around $100,000 per year, or roughly $8,000 a month, and that's completely passive. That kind of income can cover living expenses for most people and still leave room to keep growing your wealth. You're no longer worried about every small expense or market dip. Instead, your focus shifts towards stewardship, how to manage what you've built, how to give back, and how to create a lasting impact. This is when money stops being the goal and starts becoming the tool that helps you design the life that you want. But here's what most people miss. The journey to $1 million doesn't start with big investments or lucky breaks. It starts with small, consistent habits. The same principles that got you from 0 to 10,000 are the ones that carry you all the way here. Saving a little from every paycheck, avoiding lifestyle inflation, staying out of debt, and consistently investing in simple long-term assets. That's the real formula. At this stage, your relationship with money changes. You stop worrying about having money and start thinking about what to do with it. Maybe it's creating generational wealth, supporting causes that you care about, or simply spending more time doing the things that you love. The real reward of hitting $1 million isn't just about the number, it's the peace, flexibility, and confidence that comes with it. So guys, wherever you are on this journey, remember this. The habits that lead to wealth are built long before the wealth shows up. Don't compare your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 10. Focus on your progress, not someone else's, because every dollar saved and invested brings you one step closer to financial freedom, and that's a milestone worth chasing. From my experience, I've learned that building wealth isn't really about the numbers, it's about who you become along the way. The patience, the discipline, the mindset shifts, those are the real rewards. Hitting these milestones changes more than just your bank balance. It changes how you think, how you plan, and how you see the future. Because once you start taking control of your money, you begin to realize that you're capable of so much more than you thought. You stop reacting to your finances and start leading them with purpose. And the truth is, there's no shortcut to any of these milestones. It's not about getting lucky, timing the market, or finding the next big investment trend. It's about consistency. It's about staying steady through the ups and downs, even when it feels like nothing's happening. The people who win with money aren't necessarily the ones who make the most. They're the ones who stick with it the longest. Small steps taken over time lead to big results. The hardest part is just starting, but once you do, the momentum builds faster than you expect. So wherever you are in your financial journey, whether you're saving your first $1,000 or investing towards your first $1 million, keep moving forward. Don't let temporary setbacks make you lose sight of long-term goals. Stay consistent, Stay curious and stay committed to learning, because financial freedom isn't a finish line, it's a lifestyle. It's about creating the kind of life where money works quietly in the background while you focus on what truly matters to you. And that's what I want for you: peace, confidence, and a future that's completely on your terms. Now, I ask that if you found this video eye-opening, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who you think needs to hear it. And if you want more practical, no-nonsense advice on building wealth and securing your financial future, then check out this video here. And also, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.